What's the deal, ladies and mullets? Welcome to the channel. I am the refining worker, Shaq, aka Shaq the Beast. So I said I was gonna do an episode about how to get into the refineries, how to get into construction, how to get into crane and rigging. I'm gonna touch dibble dabble on a little of it because they kind of intertwine quite a bit. I have my notes so I don't ramble or lose myself. So to try to keep it structured. There's a bunch of ways to get into the refineries. It could be a neighbor, job fair. It could be you passing by a drug screen and the person behind the counter actually knowing about what companies are which and pointing you in the right direction. That's absolutely what happened to me. I was taking a drug screen. The lady said I didn't look like a warehouse worker. I looked more like a construction worker. So she gave me the address to the office and bada bing, bada boom, there I go. So those are a couple of ways that you can get into it. It's pretty much who you know, right? Or you could get lucky. Just knowing someone helps, if that makes sense. So knowing someone definitely helps. Wrecking someone in is another way. Someone can turn your name in. You could be, this goes back to being someone's neighbor and them needing a fire watch. You know, you want to start at the bottom. I'll get into that later. Your neighbor knowing that their job needs to be manned up and you or your kid, you know, your neighbor's kid needs a job. So you want to give them a chance and they put you on a rec. HR will call you, start the process and get you going with safety counsel, drug screen, and things of that nature. So that's another way. Someone physically turning your name in, not you just knowing someone and saying, hey, whatever, someone actually turning your name in to figure out what you want to do, what craft you want to be in. Now, a good way to do that is to just get your foot in the door and start out as a laborer. You start out as a laborer, you get to see all the crafts in action. And then you can determine whether or not you want to be a pipe fitter, welder, scaffold builder, installation, painter, instrument tech, or if you want to just be godlike and try to get on with crane and rigging. But you can also always go to college and get your process tech, your P-Tech degree, and then you can work directly for the refinery. That's another option. That's a long, grueling process that I know almost zero about. I mean, I know a little about it, but I'm not even going to get into that. It's a long process. This is an important one. You want to get all of your credentials. And what I mean by that, the starter kit for your credentials would be obviously a driver's license if you're of age, an ID of some sort if you can't have a driver's license for whatever reason, your TWIC card, which is transportation worker occupation, industrial contract, some crap, whatever. I'll figure it out, put it down here or something. I'll put it down there, but get your TWIC card. And then if you are already in the refinery, just say, you know, you've gotten in, you got your stuff ready. You want to get, for your craft, obviously, your certifications. But we're talking about beforehand. So beforehand, you want to definitely get your driver's license and get a TWIC card. And that will cut down on your limitations. Because a lot of these plants have railroad tracks, boat docks, marinas, and things of that nature coming in with semis. So that's what the TWIC card is for. You don't want to limit yourself because there is a plant that is a TWIC facility and you may not be able to get an escort. You want to get your TWIC. So go ahead and get your TWIC card. That'll help out a bunch. I made mention of this earlier, starting at the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Don't be like these guys, fake it till you make it. Want a paycheck, but don't know the craft. You don't know crap about it, and you can't do your job. That we've got a lot of that, and that's kind of why I'm at a disarray with how I feel. I was in love with crane and rigging, and it's dwindling. But that's neither here nor there. That's for other episodes. Yes, episodes. But yes, no, don't try to fake it till you make it. One, start from the bottom. If you have to get your certifications just to get a job, because they're doing that now to put the liability back on you. But just be honest. Just say, hey, look, I'm green. Green is not a bad thing. There are so many things that are way worse than being green. Green is not the problem, okay? So don't try to fake it till you make it. That never really, really works out, because if there is seasoned people in the craft, they're going to smell you.
Smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
Okay, talk to the guys in the craft. Let's say you got your foot in the door now. Now you're in, all right? And you're a laborer or a scaffold helper or a paint helper or whatever. Go around and talk to these other guys in the other crafts. As long as they're not dicks, and they're being jerks, if they are, just fuck them, move on to the next person. There's going to be somebody that's going to want to help you, and they will try to help you as much as they can, but you're obviously going to have to do the legwork. But they will talk to you, give you information, and try to help you out. It's happened to me. I've done it to others. Somebody's going to try to help you out. Now, with that being said, you want to network. You want to build a relationship with some of these guys, because you never know what job you might be on with them. Say you're still a laborer, right? You're still a laborer, but you go to another job, another turnaround, another shutdown, and you run into the same welder again. If they're cool with it, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, bud, can I get you on social media? So it doesn't have to be a phone number. You could still communicate with this person, get information from them, get help from them, but without looking like a fucking creeper asking for their phone number, So that's a good way to play it, like networking, but through, hey, I don't like to talk about apps and things like that and give people credit, but LinkedIn is a way to go, and it helps people get jobs. So you could say, hey, are you on that app? And if they are, boom, you guys can communicate like that. So networking will help you, and doing what I said from the last video to keep the job, they will see how you work, and they will help you and keep helping you. If you are liking the content, give me a thumbs up, ladies and mullets. Let me know in the comments if your experience was hard getting into the refineries. If you're in, if you're not, if you're curious, drop a comment and let me know how it went, how it's going, and if you want to, and how I can help you. This one is pretty much the one I was talking about just a while ago. Look, show up and show out. If you're that laborer kid and you run into that welder, and you run into that welder on another job, if you are busting ass every time that welder sees you, because they're going to get ass time because they're welders. They're not welding, they're chilling. If that welder sees you constantly busting ass, asking questions, doing your job, working hard, there's no reason that person's not going to want to help you, and probably not going to steer you into their own craft. It doesn't have to be a welder. It could be anybody. It could be crane and rigging. It could be pipe fitters. If they see you working hard, they would want that in their craft. They want an abundance of hardworking, intelligent people. Overflow the craft, because it's getting so watered down. We need the hard workers. We need the intellects to come in and try to fix what has been fucked. Basically, unfucked what's fucked. So just keep your nose down and work hard, and I promise you, no one's not going to want to help you if they constantly see you working. They're going to want that. That's absolutely how I got out of scaffold and how I got into crane and rigging. Somebody was watching me when I thought they weren't, and I just kept doing my job. Last one is pretty much what I said on the previous video before. Again, making reference to it because this is kind of like a part 2. Don't be a punk ass. Don't be a whiny baby. Don't cry about stuff. Just as long as it's not unsafe, it's not belligerent, it's not ignorant as fuck, and someone's asking you to do your job and your pay is not changing, just do what's asked of you. You never know if that's something someone's trying to see if you're worthy of being a part of their crew. And then once you get in, don't slack off. Keep going. Keep on going, because sky's the limit if you can just continue to jump from turnaround to turnaround to turnaround. I was making pretty good money on turnarounds. Seemed like it never really added up, but the mortgage never stops. But I made a decent, and still am making a decent living from this craft, and I got plucked out of a scaffold crew by someone who saw my potential. Ladies and mullets, you can't go wrong by working hard. The only thing you're going to do is sleep better that night with a lot more money in your pocket and for your pocket in the future. Ladies and mullets, it's been always a pleasure. Put God first. You know how we do. Be a hand, not a pinky. Here, let me give it to you. Babe. As my Louisiana friends say. Ladies and mullets, be a hand, not a pinky. We don't mess with that. Put God first. Y'all be safe. Peace.